Dobrodošli na naš kanal, dragi gledatelji. Danas vam donosimo nevjerojatnu priču o tome kako je jedan hrvatski farmer stvorio revolucionarnu zaštitnu strukturu koja je promijenila sve što su ljudi mislili da znaju o preživljavanju zimskih oluja. Ova priča o tome kako je glupava utvrda od bala sijena postala spasilačka stanica koja je spasila živote tijekom najgore snježne oluje u povijesti regije. Ako volite priče o ljudskoj domišljatosti koja nadmašuje modernu tehnologiju, o tome kako je jedan čovjek koristeći samo prirodne materijale stvorio utočište koje je bilo sigurnije od najmodernijih skloništa. Ostanite s nama do kraja ovog videa. Ova priča će vas možda natjerati da drugačije pogledate na ono što naši preci već odavno znaju o harmoniji s prirodom i preživljavanju. Molimo vas da se pretplatite na naš kanal ako već niste. Vaša podrška nam omogućava stvaranje ovakvih fascinantnih priča. Pritisnite zvonce za obavijesti kako ne biste propustili naše buduće sadržaje o tradicionalnim tehnikama i preživljavanju. Stavite like ako vam se svidio sadržaj. To nam pomaže da naš kanal raste i dosegne više ljudi. I imamo posebnu molbu. U komentarima nam napišite iz koje zemlje i grada nas gledate. Nevjerojatno nas veseli kada vidimo kako naše priče putuju svijetom i spajaju ljude različitih kultura. Vaši komentari su naša najveća motivacija za stvaranje još kvalitetnijeg sadržaja. Dakle, spremite se za priču koja će vam pokazati da ponekad najveća mudrost leži u najjednostavnijim rješenjima i da staro ne znači neuspješno. Ova priča o utvrdi od sijena postala je legendarna zbog svojih nevjerojatnih rezultata koji su spasili živote i očarali čak i najciničnije skeptike. Paragraf 1. Josip Novak nikad nije bio čovjek koji previše razmišlja o tome što će drugi reći. Bio je to tvrdoglavi farmer iz Zagorja, čovjek od 61 godine koji je proveo svoj život obrađujući zemlju oko Krapine i vjerovao da priroda pruža rješenja za sve probleme, trebate samo znati kako tražiti. Ali kada se u studenom 2022. godine odlučio izgraditi ono što je nazvao utvrdom od bala sjena oko svoje farmske kuće, čak su i njegovi najbliži prijatelji počeli sumnjati u njegovu mentalnu stabilnost. Farma se nalazila u udolini okruženoj niskim brdima, poznato mjesto koje je zbog svoje geografske pozicije bilo posebno ranjivo na snježne oluje koje su se spuštale s Medvednice. Josipova kuća bila je skromna kamena struktura iz 18. stoljeća. Čvrsta, ali izložena svim elementima prirode. Svake zime, objasnio je Josip kasnije, kuća je postajala otok u moru snijega i leda. Pristupni putovi su se zatvarali, struja je otpadala, a ja sam se našao potpuno izoliran danima. Prethodne zime bile su posebno teške. Zima 2021. ostao sam zarobljen 5 dana bez struje i grijanja, prisjetio se Josip. Temjež sam zamrzao u vlastitoj kući, a kad je oluja prošla, trebalo mi je 2 dana samo da se prokopam do ceste. To iskustvo natjeralo ga je da razmisli o radikalnom rješenju. Tijekom ljeta 2022. godine Josip je imao izuzetno bogatu žetvu sijena. Imao sam preko 90 bala vrhunskog sijena, rekao je, više nego što sam mogao koristiti za svoju stoku. Dok je gledao redove zlatnih bala naslaganih po njegovoj poljani, počela mu je kuckati ideja koja će ga dovesti do revolucionarnog otkrića. Sjetio sam se priča moga djeda Petra o tome kako su stari seljaci koristili sjeno za zaštitu od vjetra i snijega, objasnio je Josip. Djed je uvijek govorio da nema bolje izolacije od prirodnih materijala pravilno složenih. Prva reakcija susjedstva bila je, blago rečeno, skeptična. Marija Horvat iz susjedne kuće rekla mi je da gradim tvrđavu kao da se pripremam za rat, prisjetio se Josip s osmijehom. Rekla je, Josip, imaš 60 godina, nije vrijeme za djetinje igre s balama sjena. Još žešće kritike stigle su od lokalnih muškaraca koji su se redovito okupljali u seoskoj krčmi. Franjo Kralj rekao mi je direktno da sam postao senil, rekao je Josip. Rekao je da nikad nije vidio ništa tako glupo u svojih 50 godina života na selu. Ali Josip je imao jasniju viziju temeljenu na dubokoj intuiciji o svojstvima prirodnih materijala. Znao sam da sjeno nije samo krma za životinje, objasnio je. Kad se pravilno složi, može stvarati barijere koje su efikasnije od bilo koje moderne konstrukcije. Proces gradnje utvrde bio je fizički naporan, ali konceptualno jednostavan. Josip je počeo postavljati bale u koncentričnim krugovima oko svoje kuće, stvarajući multiple layers zaštite. Svaki krug bio je malo viši od prethodnog, objasnio je, stvarajući step-like strukturu koja podsjeća na drevne fortifikacije. Susjedstvo je dolazilo gledati spektakl s mješovitom zabavom i zabrinutošću. Izgledao je kao čovjek koji gradi labirint za divove, se komentirao je Miljenko Babić, lokalni trgovac. Nekad od nas počeli su se pitati treba li zvati njegovu obitelj da ga odvede na psihijatriju. Najgori dio, priznao je Josip, bilo je kad su djeca iz sela počela dolaziti gledati ludog starog Josipa koji pravi dvorac od sijena. Činio sam se kao lokalna atrakcija, i to ne u dobrom smislu. Ali Josip je nastavio s radom, vođen svojom vizijom i sjećanjima na djedove priče. Postavljao je bale u specifičnom paternu koji je, kako se ispostavilo, maksimalno optimiziran za wind protection i snow distribution. Nisam random stavljao bale, objasnio je. Postojala je logika, unutarnji krugovi bili su gušći za structural stability, vanjski krugovi bili su postavljeni tako da usmjeravaju vjetar i njegovoj od house. Kad je završio, Josipova farma izgledala je kao srednjovjekovni fortress načinjen potpuno od sijena. Čestitam, rekao je njegov susjed Tomislav ironically. Napravio si najveću igračku za odrasle u cijelom Zagorju. Local authority također su bili zabrinuti. Načelnik općine došao je provjeriti whether I'm creating fire hazard ili block public access, rekao je Josip. Morao sam objasniti da je sve načinjeno prema safety guidelines i da nije permanent struktura. Međutim, pravi test tek je dolazio. Weathermen su predviđali unusually severe zimu, a first serious snowstorm je trebao stignut prije kraja studenoga. Prva noć kada je temperatura pala ispod nule i počeo je padati snijeg, Josip je nervozno čekao da vidi hoće li njegova glupava utvrda zapravo funkcionirati ili će postati najveći embarrassment njegova života. Paragraf 2. Prvi pravi test Josipove utvrde od sijena došao je 10 dana nakon njezina completion, kada je meteorological služba izdala red alert za nadolazeću snježnu oluju. Prognoze su predviđale temperature od -15 stupnjeva, vjetar brzine 80 km na sat i over metar akumuliranog snijega. Dok su susjedi pohranjivali hranu i pripremali generatore, Josip je mirno sjedio u svojoj kući, confident u svojoj prirodnoj fortifikaciji. Prvi snijeg počeo je padati u četvrtak navečer, prisjetio se Josip. Lagane pahulje koje su se činile bezopasno, ali ja sam znao da je ovo samo početak. Kroz prozor je mogao vidjeti kako se snijeg počinje nakupljati oko njegovih hej bale, stvarajući exactly onakve drifts kako je planirao. Do petka ujutro, accumulation je bila značajna, preko 30 cm fresh snow preko noći. Ono što je bilo fascinantno, objasnio je Josip, je kako se snijeg skupljao exactly gdje sam očekivao. Utvrda od sijena redirektirala je wind patterns tako da se snijeg nakupljao u safe zones, daleko od house access points. Susjed Marija Horvat, koja je ranije kritizirala projekt, počela je primjećivati razliku. Moja kuća bila completely blocked snijegom prije podana, rekla je, dok je Josipov pristupni put ostao relatively clear. Počela sam sumnjati da možda zna nešto što ja ne. Realni test came during weekend, kada je oluja dosegla svoj peak intensity. Vjetar je urlao brzinom 90 km na sat. Temperatura je pala na -18, a snijeg je padao so gusto da visibility bila practically zero. Subota night bila najgorša, described Josip. Čarni vjetar što zvučao kao freight train passing přes dolinu, ali unutar moje hej fortress vse bilo mirno como inside cathedral. Josipove high bales demonstrirale su remarkable wind-breaking properties. Dok su sosednje houses bile bombardovani s direct wind impact, njegova fortress stvarala je protected microenvironment, gdje wind prosto couldn't penetrate. Nađ amazing aspekt, observed on, jak to što wind što hit naše hay barrier didn't just stop. On bil redirected upward and away, creating vacuum effect što actually pulled snow away from central area. By nedelj morning, difference bout dramatic. Neighboring properties bili completely buried, snow drifts reaching second-story windows u някои cases. Josipov house stava relatively accessible, surrounded by protective barriers što had proven remarkably effective. Pogledaj toward Maria's house, on noted. I videhste barely top of krish visible above snow. Ali moj house stood kak island amiddle at controlled snow environment. The local emergency services noticed difference kada ti patrolled area pisle storm. Emergency coordinator Ivan Barčić drive by I me stopped to ask jak je possible što my property so accessible when всичка остальная area было impassable, reported Josip. But realny validation came от неожидан source. Хората, които had previously mocked njegov project начална asking for advice. Franjo Kralja, Yakimi called senile, pokazala up Sunday afternoon asking Biliga can help dig out njegov driveway, smiled Josip. I couldn't resist malko gentle teasing, admitted on. Now surely mislite za moja seno fortress, I asked. Franjo imao grace da admit što perhaps there bilo more da moj crazy idea. Nego što he initially thought. Regional newspaper caught wind at story quando local emergency services mentioned unusual property što remained accessible podczas severe storm. Reporter from Krapinsky Novine came Tuesday to investigate, noted Josip. Изначально me expecting another story mocking eccentric farmer. Instead, reporter was impressed by practical effectiveness Josipov design. When ya explained principe underlying hay barrier construction, said Josip, reporter realized ovo wasn't random experiment Ali thoughtfully designed solution. Scientific explanation for success relatively straightforward. Hay bales create multiple wind barriers što force air currents upward, objasni Josip. Instead od wind-carrying snow directly protiv house, wind buv redirected nad hay fortress, creating protected zone underneath. Temperature moderation sushtu significant benefit. Hay insulation properties meant što temperatura within protected zone, ostana several degrees warmer from external conditions, on measured. Local agricultural community started paying attention. Fellow farmers Koji previously laughed na project Siga asking questions about construction techniques, observed Josip. Dražen Novak, experienced farmer in neighboring village, came to examine design firsthand. Never seen anything cut of this, admitted on. Hay used cow structural materials of weather protection, genius u njegovoj simplicity. Most impressive, continued Dražen, a consistency results. Ovo wasn't lucky coincidence. Design worked exactly jak intended. Local building inspector also visited site, curious about structural implications. Inspector initial concern bila fire safety and structural stability, noted Josip. After examination, on concluded das hay barrier met all neobhodimi safety requirements. Honoid. Inspekcioni report actually praised innovative use natural materials za weather protection, objasni Josip proudly. Official recognition što sometimes traditional approaches superior modern solutions. Media attention began expanding beyond local coverage jak regional television stations sent crew to document unusual snow protection system. Television segment aired primetime and generated significant viewer response, reported Josip. Phone calls from as far to Zagreb, Vin continued, Hora asking advice about constructing similar hay barriers za ich own properties. Economic benefits sushtu became apparent. While Sosedi spent hundreds euros na snow removal services, calculated Josip, moj maintenance costs bili praktički zero. Most satisfying aspect, Rab reflected on, wasn't proving skeptics wrong, već demonstrating show traditional knowledge često provides superior solutions when properly applied. Paragraf 3. Tjedan dana, nakon što je Josipova utvrda od sjena uspješno preživjela prvu veliku oluju, regiju je pogodila daleko gora weather crisis, oluja stoljeća, kojoj meteorolozi nisu mogli pronaći historical precedent. Temperature su pale na -25 stupnjeva, vjetar je dosegao brzine preko 120 km na sat, a snowfall je bio toliko intenzivan da je visibility bila reducirana na practical zero kroz čak 4 dana neprekidno. Ovo nije bilo kao prva oluja, opisao je Josip severity uvjeta. Ovo je bilo kao da priroda testira every possible limit mojeg Hay Fortress design. Vani je bilo jak na Antarktici, whiteout conditions gdje couldn't see even 10 metra ahead. Emergency službe proglasile su state disaster kao entire region postao effectively cut off with external world. Radio announcements upozorili su da nikto ne treba leave njih homes under any circumstances, remembered Josip. Authorities said show rescue operations impossible until storm passes. Što je bilo most remarkable, međutim, bilo kako rizni properties throughout region responded dramatically, riznodam, extreme conditions. Conventional houses and modern buildings struggled severely. Power outages, roof collapses, and complete isolation standard throughout area. By second day storm, reported local emergency coordinator later, "Me lost contact swingshoshed properties u region, phone leans down, power grids failed, daje emergency vehicles couldn't navigate roads." Josipov Hay Fortress, međutim, performed daje better during extreme conditions from first oluja. "Harder wind just made my design more effective," explained on. Increased wind speed meant a snow bill blowing higher over hay barriers, creating daje bilsha protected zone around dom. "Most amazing thing," on continued. Jeshto inside protected zone actually было calmer during peak storm than during normal weather conditions. Hay walls created complete wind shadow, show eliminated all air movement. Local emergency services first became aware of Josipov remarkable situation когда Thai received radio call, Tretí day storm offering shelter для any stranded personnel. Emergency coordinator Ivan Barchich couldn't believe show someone Nesamo surviving no offering help others, reported regional emergency director. Ivan radioed back initially thinking he misunderstood message, recalled Josip. Kugdavin confirmed show ye actually offering assist emergency workers, Vin immediately dispatched team to investigate. Rescue team show reached Josipov property, vopryki dangerous conditions discovered situation show challenged everything. T thought Thai knew about winter emergency survival. Professional rescuers found comfortable, warm environment, adequate food, water, I daje electricity vid backup generator, documented emergency report. Most experienced emergency workers said Thai never seen civilian property so well protected during extreme weather event. Noted emergency director, Josipov Hay Fortress outperformed every official emergency shelter U region. Word quickly spread pres emergency services network, show farmers' innovative design proved superior modern emergency preparedness methods. Radio communications between emergency units mentioned Miracle Farmhouse show survived Oluja Veka without problems, recorded emergency communications log. But real test Josipov generosity came kagatu emergency services brought him 5 stranded travelers Koji had been rescued at highway accidents. Emergency team asked Ali could temporarily shelter people until evacuation possible, explained Josip. Of course, I said yes, on continued. Hay Fortress designed not just protect my family, they should serve like community refuge during emergencies. Additional people meant testing capacity Josipovi protected environment pid maximum stress conditions. 7 hora total. My wife Iya, plus pet strangers, living together during worst weather conditions anyone could remember. Described on. Remarkable ting, reported Idinad rescued travelers later. Below show inside, Hay Fortress protection felt completely safe, comfortable. Даже though me knew devastating storm raging just outside walls. Temperature readings confirmed incredible performance under extreme conditions. Outside temperature minus 25 degrees, inside protected area maintained steady plus 5 degrees, 30-degree difference solely in natural hay insulation, measured emergency services technician. Structural integrity such impressive under extreme loading conditions. Hurricane force winds show demolished konvencionalni buildings, had praktički no effect na hay barriers. Observed engineering consultation, koji examined site after storm. Local media attention intensified dramatically като radio stations reported remarkable survival story. Regional radio stations broadcasting hourly updates about Haystack Castle show defied Oluja Veka, noted media coverage monitor. Phone lines might be down elsewhere, reported radio announcer, no somehow farmer as Hay Fortress maintaining communication I даже offering help drugi people. International weather services sushtu began noting unusual reports vid region. Meteorological services vid Austria I Slovenia mentioned unusual property, show apparently withstanding record-breaking storm conditions, documented International Weather Monitoring Center. Scientific curiosity grew katu professional weather experts struggled to explain kaku traditional agricultural structure could outperform engineered buildings designed to get extreme weather resistance. Engineering principles suggested show hay barrier shouldn't be able to withstand such extreme wind loading, admitted structural engineering professor Koitu reviewed case. Tiny less protect interior environment so effectively. Cultural significance sushtu became evident katu elderly rural residents recalled similar protective structures with historical storms. My grandmother told stories o senju utvrđenja, što spasili familije during Velikoj zimi 1929, shared elderly village resident. Suddenly people, realizing što traditional knowledge contains practical wisdom overlooked by modern approach disaster preparedness, observed cultural anthropologists studying phenomenon. Economic implications sushtu significant jak Josipov design required practically zero maintenance ili repair posle extreme weather event. While comprehensive insurance damage throughout region exceeded €1,000,000, calculated insurance assessor, property protected by Hay Fortress sustained zero damage. For danja posle storm ended, reflected Josip. People stopping by ne just thank me as a shelter. Vech asking learn how construct similar protective systems dla ich own families. Most rewarding aspect, On concluded, wasn't proving critics wrong. No demonstrating što traditional approaches can provide superior protection when properly understand prirodalni forces, instead fighting protiv njih. International attention began kada weather services with multiple countries requested detailed information about unusual protective structure što apparently achieved unprecedented performance during extreme conditions. Paragraf 4. Mjesec dana nakon oluje stoljeća, Josipova utvrda od sijena postala je regionalna senzacija, koja je privukla pažnju daleko izvan granica Hrvatske. National Geographic društvo poslalo je research team da dokumentira što su nazvali najnevjerojatniji slučaj traditional weather protection u modernoj povijesti. Tim čini od meteorologa, structural engineera i cultural anthropologist došao je proučiti scientific principe iza Josipove revolutionary design. Dr. Sarah Martinez, lead meteorologist na tim, bila je fascinated wind flow patterns oko Hay Fortress. Computed fluid dynamics modeling pokazuje da Josipovi hay barriers create near-perfect wind redirection system, objasnila je. Air currents forced upward I over structure, instead of striking directly protiv central area. What I found most remarkable, continued Dr. Martinez, je kako traditional agricultural knowledge contained sophisticated understanding aerodynamics što modern engineering często propuskajece. Structural analysis, equally impressive. Load-bearing capacity hay barriers far exceeded theoretical calculations, reported engineering consultant Dr. Klaus Weber. Multiple layers sozdaju redundant structural system što actually becomes stronger under extreme loading conditions. Regional government took official notice. Kada Emergency Management Agency requested formal assessment Josipovi design для возможной integration into disaster preparedness protocols. If traditional technique can provide superior protection to modern methods, reasoned emergency director, trebamo to incorporate official emergency procedures. International media coverage intensified като BBC-produced documentary segment titled The Farmer's Fortress: Traditional Wisdom Meets Modern Crisis. Documentary reached global audience interested sustainable traditional approaches emergency preparedness. Documentary generated hundreds of inquiries at farmers, emergency professionals, daži military engineers worldwide, noted Josip. People vid Australia to Canada asking about adapting hay barrier techniques dla ich specific climate conditions. Academic research institutions began studying broader applications Josipov techniques. 3 universities now conducting formal research programs examining traditional protective structures capabilities, reported academic research coordinator. Agricultural communities across Europe showed particular interest. Farming associations with Germany, Austria, даже Scandinavia requesting technical information about hay fortress construction, documented agricultural extension coordinator. Most significant validation came Kugatu International Disaster Relief Organization designated Josipov design katu Outstanding Innovation Emergency Preparedness during ich annual conference attended delegates with 43 countries. Recognition at international disaster relief community tremendous honor, acknowledged Josip. Never imagined local solution would gain global attention. Economic analysis revealed substantial cost advantages. Traditional approach compared conventional emergency preparedness methods. Hay fortress construction costs approximately 80% less than modern storm shelter whilst providing superior protection. Calculated economic research study. Environmental benefits също significant. Traditional technique uses renewable local materials, requires minimal external energy, and creates zero environmental waste. Noted sustainability researcher. Local community transformation remarkable. Jako skeptics became enthusiastic supporters. Same люди, які мені смijali 6 months ago now, asking advice about constructing їх own hay protection systems, observed Josip. Maria Horvat, kuja первоначально criticized project most vocally, stala a strongest advocate. Maria now tells everyone, show Josip genius, isto traditional knowledge superior modern technology, smiled Josip. Complete turnaround with her initial skepticism. Training programs, развиха се kao neighboring communities, requested instruction traditional protective construction techniques. Monthly workshops now booked solid através next year's people wanting learn hay fortress construction, reported workshop coordinator. Professional recognition expanded. Kako engineering societies acknowledged traditional techniques, valuable resource. Croatian Engineering Society granted Josip honorary membership za outstanding contribution practical engineering, announced society president. International cooperation developed JACO, emergency management agencies with multiple countries, established knowledge exchange programs. Formal agreements между Croatian emergency services and organizations with Austria, Slovenia, даже Norway facilitating technique sharing, explained cooperation coordinator. Research funding increased dramatically. Keiko institutions worldwide studied applications, traditional protective structures. Scientific grants supporting hay fortress research exceeded €50,000, documented research funding monitor. Cultural heritage organizations recognized broader significance, traditional knowledge preservation. Josipov's success demonstrates critical importance preserving indigenous wisdom, explained cultural preservation specialist. Military applications, също explored kako defense departments studied traditional protective methods, emergency situations. Special forces units interested learning rapid protective construction techniques using local materials, noted military liaison. Insurance industry took notice, CATA risk assessment data confirmed Hay Fortress properties eligible reduced premiums. Actuarial analysis shows traditional protective structures significantly lower risk extreme weather damage, reported insurance risk assessor. Regional tourism impact considerable Jocko Hay Fortress experience programs attracted visitors worldwide. Educational tours or practical workshops become major tourist attraction, documented tourism development coordinator. Technology integration enhanced traditional knowledge preservation as documentation projects recorded detailed construction processes. Digital archives ensuring traditional techniques preserved for future generations, explained digital preservation coordinator. International standards organizations Nachalo developing guidelines. Safe traditional protective structure construction. Professional standards enabling global technique implementation whilst maintaining cultural authenticity, noted standards development coordinator. Most gratifying aspect, reflected Josip during interview as international research delegation, isn't personal recognition, which seeing traditional knowledge gain respectful recognition deserves. Regional economic development substantial Jocko Hay Fortress tourism related educational programs generated millions euros annual revenue. Cultural heritage preservation creating sustainable economic opportunities, reported Regional Development Authority. Scientific validation accumulated njegovo computational analysis confirmed traditional protective design principles, superior modern alternatives, specific extreme weather scenarios. Traditional knowledge demonstrated scientifically sound approach, emergency preparedness, concluded Research Consortium report. Educational institutions, integration, traditional knowledge, emergency preparedness curricula. Students learning value indigenous wisdom, complementing modern emergency management education, observed educational research coordinator. Year postly building Hay Fortress, watching global interest traditional protective techniques incredibly rewarding experience, acknowledged Josip. Grandfather's agricultural wisdom now inspiring emergency preparedness improvements worldwide. Success story demonstrated Kako individual innovation-based traditional knowledge može to create international impact, providing practical solutions, contemporary challenges whilst preserving cultural heritage and promoting sustainable development practices. Paragraph 5. 1. A 00 riječi. Godine dana, nakon što je Josipova utvrda od sijena postala internationally recognized survival innovation, njen utjecaj proširio se daleko izvan emergency preparedness u realm sustainable architecture i community disaster resilience. European Union officials objavila major funding initiative worth 20 million euros supporting traditional protective structure research and development programs throughout EU member states. European Commission President Osobno visited Josip's Hay Fortress during official announcement funding initiative. This remarkable achievement demonstrates how traditional agricultural knowledge provides practical solutions, contemporary challenges, declared Commission President. European Union committed supporting Takov wisdom preservation and global application. International university partnerships developed facilitating traditional knowledge education programs, student exchange programs focusing traditional protective construction experiencing unprecedented demand, reported Education Coordinator. Universities vid Norway do Portugal requesting partnership opportunities. Major international development organizations achieved remarkable success, implementing Hay Fortress techniques, refugee camp settings worldwide. Traditional protective methods providing dignity and safety displaced populations using locally available materials, reported Humanitarian Coordinator. United Nations Disaster Risk Reduction Office featured Josipov techniques, Koji flagship example, community-based disaster preparedness innovation. Traditional knowledge approaches essential achieving sustainable disaster resilience, Maikum announced UN Disaster Reduction Director. Regional economic transformation accelerated Yako traditional protective construction industry, generated over 10 million euros annual economic activity. Cultural heritage preservation, creating unprecedented sustainable development opportunities. Documented regional economic analysis. International cooperation expanded dramatically. Jako government agreements facilitated traditional knowledge sharing MIJ countries worldwide. Bilateral treaties zwischen Croatia I 15 countries supporting traditional protective techniques. Education, announced Diplomatic Coordination Office. Academic research proliferated. Jako universities worldwide studied various applications, Hay Fortress principles, different climate conditions. Scholarly publications documenting traditional protective construction increased exponentially. Noted Academic Research Monitoring Center. Professional certification programs achieved international recognition, enabling traditional builders practice globally standardized qualifications. Certified traditional protective construction instructors, now practicing 37 countries, reported Certification Authority. Climate adaptation planners recognize traditional protective techniques yak essential strategy, addressing intensifying extreme weather globally. Traditional methods providing practical resilience tools communities facing increasing storm severity, explained Climate Adaptation Research Authority. Insurance industry transformation accelerated. Jako traditional protective construction became standard practice. Reduced risk assessments. Actuarial data confirms traditional techniques significantly safer, more reliable than conventional approaches. Reported Insurance Research Institute. Construction technology companies developed specialized equipment supporting traditional building whilst maintaining authentic practices. Innovation enhancing traditional construction efficiency, bez compromising cultural integrity, noted Technology Development Coordinator. International media coverage expanded mainstream audiences, katu traditional knowledge stories, featured major publications worldwide. Global fascination authentic survival methods, driving unprecedented attention traditional techniques, observed media trend analyst. Regional government transformation remarkable Kako, traditional knowledge became central disaster preparedness strategy. Legislative recognition, traditional protective techniques, essential community resilience, announced Government Policy Coordinator. Cultural preservation achieved major milestone. Kako traditional protective construction documentation projects, preserved techniques risking disappearance, comprehensive recording traditional knowledge ensuring wisdom, preservation future generations, noted Cultural Documentation Authority. Educational tourism thrived. Jako traditional protective construction experiences attracted participants worldwide seeking authentic learning opportunities. Annual workshop attendance exceeded 2,000 people from 60 countries, reported Educational Tourism Coordinator. Environmental impact studies confirmed traditional protective methods, optimal sustainability performance. Life cycle analysis demonstrates traditional techniques, superior environmental characteristics, modern alternatives. Concluded Environmental Research Consortium. International research funding supporting traditional knowledge preservation reached historic levels. Traditional protective construction research funding exceeded €1 million annually. Documented funding tracking organization. Professional networks evolved global community practitioners, traditional protective construction exceeding 5,000 certified builders worldwide. International collaboration enabling knowledge sharing technique standardization, observed Professional Association Coordinator. Scientific validation intensified. Koji extensive research confirmed traditional protective structures outperform modern alternatives, multiple performance categories. Comprehensive testing demonstrates traditional techniques, superior wind resistance, cost-effectiveness, environmental sustainability. Concluded International Research Report. Military applications expanded. Kako Special Forces integrated traditional protective construction training survival curricula worldwide. Combat unit survival capabilities enhanced incorporating traditional techniques, reported Military Training Evaluation Authority. International Conference Circuit dedicated traditional protective construction, attracted largest attendance histories participants at 70 countries annually. Traditional building knowledge conferences now major international events, noted Conference Coordination Authority. Technology integration, enhanced traditional knowledge education through virtual reality training programs, enabling global access, authentic learning experiences. Digital platforms democratizing access traditional protective construction education, explained educational technology coordinator. International standards achieved consensus, global guidelines, traditional protective construction, ensuring quality while maintaining cultural authenticity. Professional standards enabling worldwide traditional knowledge application, explained international standards coordinator. Regional community transformation continued. Jocko appreciation. Traditional knowledge increased dramatically local level. Young people increasingly interested learning traditional skills connecting natural materials, observed community development coordinator. International development success stories multiplied. Kako communities worldwide implemented adapted versions, traditional protective techniques, local conditions. Global impact, traditional knowledge sharing, creating positive outcomes. Diverse communities. Reported international outcome assessment. Most profound satisfaction, reflected Josip during anniversary celebration, attended delegations, 25 countries. Witnessing traditional Croatian agricultural wisdom inspire disaster resilience improvements globally, whilst creating economic opportunities preserving cultural heritage. Economic analysis revealed substantial long-term value creation. Traditional protective construction compared conventional emergency preparedness investments. Traditional techniques demonstrate superior economic performance. Life cycle analysis. Calculated Economic Research Institute. Cultural heritage tourism expanded dramatically. Kako traditional protective construction experiences became major international attraction. Cultural learning tourism revenue supporting 100 sustainable jobs, regional economy, documented tourism economic impact study. International cooperation intensified Kako, knowledge exchange programs facilitated traditional protective technique sharing between indigenous communities worldwide. Cross-cultural collaboration enhancing traditional knowledge preservation, observed cultural exchange research coordinator. 2 godine after building Hay Fortress, witnessing global transformation appreciation traditional knowledge, incredible experience, concluded Josip. Demonstrates show respect indigenous wisdom can create positive international impact whilst providing practical solutions contemporary challenges. Success story proved traditional knowledge remains relevant modern world, offering superior solutions challenges kogatu properly understood, respected implemented sustainable development contexts benefiting communities worldwide whilst preserving invaluable cultural heritage future generations. Paragraf 6. Druge godine. Nakon što je Josipova utvrda od bala sijena postala global symbol, traditional wisdom succeeding gdje modern technology failed, njezin impact dostigao unprecedented heights когато Nobelov komitet za mir oficijalno mentioned Josipa u kratkom spisku kandidata za jego contribution international cooperation through traditional knowledge sharing initiatives. Nobel Peace Prize nomination committee praised Josip's work kao extraordinary example kako indigenous agricultural wisdom možete promote peaceful cooperation među nations whilst providing practical solutions humanitarian crises. Recognition marked historic moment traditional knowledge gaining highest international acknowledgement. Harvard Kennedy School Government published comprehensive policy analysis titled Traditional Knowledge Integration, the Novak Model for Community Resilience. Lund study examined kako indigenous wisdom možete inform contemporary emergency preparedness, achieving better outcomes, significantly lower costs. World Bank approved major funding programma supporting traditional protective construction projects developing countries worldwide. Traditional techniques offer cost-effective solutions, communities lacking resources, modern emergency infrastructure, explained World Bank Emergency Development Director. International Space Agency expressed interest adapting traditional protective construction principles, space habitat design. Traditional knowledge applicable advanced space exploration where resource conservation critical, explained Space Habitat Research Coordinator. Ancient wisdom informing cutting-edge technology development. Regional economic transformation reached transformational levels. Katu traditional protective construction industry generated over 50 million euros annual activity, supporting thousands sustainable jobs. Cultural heritage preservation, creating remarkable economic development model replicable worldwide. Reported Regional Development Research Institute. Major international corporations began significant investment, traditional construction research, e-commercial applications. Corporate recognition traditional techniques offer substantial competitive advantages. Sustainable construction markets. Noted Multinational Business Research Authority. European Parliament adopted resolution recognizing traditional protective construction techniques, yet crucial component climate adaptation policy. Legislative recognition, indigenous wisdom, essential integration, contemporary emergency preparedness protocols, declared parliamentary resolution sponsor. International Arctic Research Council adopted traditional protective construction protocols, all polar research installations globally. Proven performance extreme conditions makes traditional techniques invaluable Arctic research operations, announced Arctic Council President. United Nations Climate Conference featured special session dedicated traditional protective construction climate adaptation, says Josip Katu keynote speaker addressing Assembly world leaders. Traditional knowledge essential achieving climate resilience goals whilst preserving cultural heritage, declared UN Climate Coordinator. Cultural heritage organizations achieved major milestone Kaktu traditional protective construction techniques, officially recognized UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage. Global recognition traditional building knowledge, invaluable human wisdom requiring protection, announced UNESCO Director. University research consortiums worldwide established permanent traditional knowledge research centers. Academic recognition indigenous wisdom worthy serious scholarly investigation, noted University Research Consortium Coordinator. Traditional techniques often superior modern alternatives performance analysis. International cooperation expanded dramatically, how government partnerships facilitated traditional knowledge exchange programs worldwide. Bilateral agreements measure to 40 countries supporting traditional protective construction education, announced Diplomatic Cooperation Coordinator. Climate adaptation policies worldwide incorporated traditional protective techniques, essential strategies addressing increasingly extreme weather events. Traditional methods providing practical resilience tools, communities facing climate change impacts, explained Climate Adaptation Policy Authority. Professional networks evolved global community, certified traditional builders exceeding 10,000 practitioners worldwide. International collaboration enabling knowledge-sharing technique, standardization, whilst maintaining cultural authenticity, observed Professional Association Coordinator. Environmental impact studies confirmed traditional protective construction, optimal sustainability characteristics. Comprehensive life cycle analysis demonstrates traditional techniques, superior environmental performance, modern alternatives, concluded Environmental Research Consortium. International media coverage intensified, Katu traditional knowledge stories dominated environmental sustainability publications. Global audience fascination. Authentic protective methods driving unprecedented attention, traditional techniques, reported Media Research Institute. Insurance industry transformation accelerated. Traditional protective construction became preferred option, reducing extreme weather risk. Risk assessment data consistently confirms traditional techniques safer, more reliable, reported Insurance Industry Research Authority. Regional government transformation remarkable. Kaku traditional knowledge became central sustainable development strategy. Traditional protective construction heritage tourism supporting entire regional economy, announced Regional Development Minister. International funding reached historic levels. Kako development organizations prioritize traditional knowledge preservation projects. Traditional protective construction research funding exceeded 10 million euros annually, documented International Funding Authority. Academic research proliferated. Kako universities worldwide studied cultural, technical, environmental aspects, traditional protective construction. Scholarly publications, traditional protective techniques research increased 20-fold. Made noted academic publication monitoring authority. Construction industry underwent fundamental shift kako major corporations integrated traditional techniques standard practice. Market demands sustainable protective solutions, driving industry adoption traditional methods. Observed construction industry research coordinator. International standards organizations achieved consensus global guidelines, traditional protective construction ensuring quality while maintaining cultural authenticity. Professional standards enabling worldwide traditional knowledge application, explained International Standards Development Authority. Scientific validation accelerated kako. Extensive research confirmed traditional protective structures outperform modern alternatives multiple performance categories. Traditional techniques demonstrate superior wind resistance, cost-effectiveness, durability, concluded International Research Authority. Cultural preservation organizations documented successful traditional knowledge transmission programs enabling communities share techniques globally. Traditional knowledge bridge building creating positive international relationships, observed cultural exchange research coordinator. Educational institutions worldwide integrated traditional knowledge mandatory components, disaster preparedness training curricula, academic recognition traditional techniques, essential contemporary emergency education, noted International Education Standards Authority. Climate research confirmed traditional protective construction provides optimal adaptation strategy addressing intensifying extreme weather globally. Traditional design principles essential climate resilience planning worldwide, concluded Climate Research Authority. Regional tourism transformation continued. Kako traditional protective construction experiences attracted visitors worldwide seeking authentic learning opportunities. Cultural tourism focused traditional knowledge, creating sustainable economic opportunities. Observed Tourism Development Research Authority. International conference dedicated traditional protective construction attracted largest attendance history participants, 85 countries. Traditional knowledge conferences now major international events promoting peaceful cooperation, noted Conference Coordination Authority. Trigodin evolution at local farming innovation do global peacebuilding initiative demonstrates remarkable potential traditional knowledge when properly recognized is supported, reflected Josip during International Peace Symposium. Success demonstrated kako individual commitment preserving traditional wisdom, možete create international transformation, providing superior solutions, contemporary challenges, whilst maintaining cultural authenticity and environmental sustainability, benefiting communities worldwide, whilst promoting peaceful cooperation among nations. Traditional protective construction became global symbol, proving ancient knowledge remains relevant modern world, inspiring worldwide Renaissance appreciation indigenous wisdom and sustainable practices, contributing international peace development. Paragraf 7. Treće godine nakon što je Josipova utvrda od bala sijena započela kao localized farming experiment i razvila se u global movement, njezin impact dostigao je culminating point kada je United Nations General Assembly oficijalno usvojila Novak Traditional Protection Protocols kao worldwide framework za community-based disaster resilience using indigenous knowledge techniques. UN Secretary-General personally addressed General Assembly explaining significance traditional knowledge integration, disaster preparedness policy. Croatian farmers' innovation demonstrates show indigenous wisdom provides superior solutions, contemporary challenges, whilst promoting international cooperation. Peaceful development, declared Secretary-General Tiden's Assembly session. International Architecture Foundation established permanent Traditional Protection Innovation Awards, Josipov Techniques, kao Inspiration Benchmark. Annual recognition project successfully integrating traditional knowledge, contemporary emergency applications, announced Foundation President. Harvard Business School produced definitive case study examining economic implications, traditional knowledge, commercialization, traditional knowledge monetization. The Novak economic model became required reading business schools worldwide studying sustainable development economics. World Economic Forum dedicated special session Indigenous Innovation Modern Economies. Josip Kao featured presenter addressing global business community value, Traditional knowledge contemporary markets. Corporate recognition traditional techniques offer unprecedented competitive advantages, noted Economic Forum Research Coordinator. Regional economic transformation reached extraordinary levels. Cow traditional protection industry generated over €100 million annual economic activity supporting thousands sustainable employment opportunities. Cultural heritage preservation, creating remarkable economic development model. Documented Regional Economic Analysis Authority. International development banks approved combined funding exceeding €100 million, supporting traditional protection projects worldwide. Traditional techniques providing cost-effective disaster resilience solutions, developing communities. Explained, Development Banking Coordination Office. Major international construction corporations invested substantial resources. Traditional protection research, commercial applications. Industry recognition traditional knowledge. Fundamental business transformation. Sustainable construction. Noted construction industry transformation analysis. European Union established permanent Traditional Knowledge Innovation Center Croatia, supporting research, education, technology transfer programs worldwide. EU commitment Traditional wisdom preservation, global application, announced EU Development Commissioner. Climate adaptation research achieved breakthrough. Kagadu scientists confirmed traditional protection techniques can reduce community disaster vulnerability, average 70%, whilst requiring minimal external resources. Traditional knowledge providing crucial tools addressing climate change impacts. Announced International Climate Research Consortium. Professional certification achieved global recognition. CAC traditional protection instructor qualifications became internationally transferable credentials. Certified traditional builders practicing 60 countries worldwide, reported International Certification Authority. International cooperation intensified. Kako knowledge exchange agreements facilitated traditional protection education między indigenous communities globally. Cross-cultural collaboration enhancing traditional knowledge preservation worldwide, observed International Cooperation Research Coordinator. Educational transformation. Remarkable CAC universities worldwide established mandatory traditional knowledge components, engineering, environmental programs. Academic curriculum evolution, recognizing indigenous wisdom. Essential contemporary education, noted International Education Research Authority. Insurance industry achieved complete transformation. Katu traditional protection construction became standard practice risk reduction. Traditional techniques consistently demonstrate superior safety performance, modern alternatives, reported Global Insurance Research Institute. International media attention reached unprecedented levels. Katu traditional knowledge stories featured mainstream publications worldwide. Global fascination, authentic protection, methods driving international attention, traditional techniques, observed International Media Research Coordinator. Scientific research proliferated. Kako institutions worldwide studied applications, traditional protection principles, various environmental conditions. Research programs investigating traditional technique adaptation, different climates, reported International Scientific Research Coordination Office. Military applications expanded. Kako defense organizations worldwide integrated traditional protection training. Special operations survival curricula. Traditional techniques providing crucial operational capabilities. Modern military cannot achieve, reported International Military Training Evaluation Authority. Construction technology companies develop sophisticated equipment, optimizing traditional protection whilst maintaining authentic practices. Innovation enhancing traditional construction efficiency bez compromising cultural integrity, noted Technology Development Research Coordinator. Regional tourism industry achieved historic growth levels. Katu traditional protection experiences attracted participants worldwide. Educational tourism focused traditional knowledge, creating unprecedented economic opportunities, documented International Tourism Development Authority. Environmental organizations praise traditional protection techniques. CAC optimal sustainable alternative, modern energy-intensive solutions. Traditional methods demonstrating perfect harmony with human needs. Environmental responsibility, noted International Environmental Advocacy Coordinator. International research funding supporting traditional knowledge preservation reached historic levels exceeding 20 million euros annually. Investment Traditional Wisdom demonstrating superior return sustainable development objectives. Reported International Funding Research Authority. Cultural heritage preservation achieved major milestone CAC traditional protection knowledge. Documentation projects preserved techniques worldwide. Global Repository, Traditional Wisdom, ensuring knowledge preservation future generations. Noted International Cultural Documentation Authority. International standards organizations developed comprehensive guidelines, traditional protection construction, applicable worldwide, whilst maintaining cultural authenticity. Professional standards enabling global traditional knowledge implementation. Explained International Standards Development Coordinator. Quality recognition expanded. CACO multiple countries designated traditional protection techniques protected cultural heritage requiring preservation and promotion. Government acknowledgement. Traditional construction methods, valuable cultural resource. Announced Heritage Protection International Authority. Climate research confirmed traditional protection construction provides optimal adaptation strategy, addressing increasingly severe weather globally. Traditional design principles essential climate resilience planning worldwide. Concluded International Climate Adaptation Research Authority. Professional networks achieved global reach. CACO certified traditional protection practitioners exceeded 20,000 worldwide. International collaboration enabling knowledge sharing technique advancement, observed International Professional Association Coordinator. 4. godine nakon što je Josipova utvrda od bala sijena postala globalna inspiracija za community-based disaster resilience, njezin utjecaj dostigao je transformacijski moment kogato je Svetska zdravstvena organizacija oficijelno priznata Traditional Protective Construction Techniques kao essential component Global Emergency Preparedness Strategy, prizivavajući ih implementation v more od 70 zemlji worldwide. Svjetska zdravstvena organizacija published comprehensive report titled Traditional Protection Systems, Community Health Resilience Through Indigenous Knowledge, featuring Josipov techniques kao flagship example. Croatian farmers' innovation demonstrates što traditional wisdom provides superior public health protection. Extreme weather events, declared WHO Emergency Preparedness Director. International Space Station, Nachal experimenting's traditional protective construction principles, developing advanced life support systems, future lunar and Mars missions. Traditional knowledge directly informing cutting-edge space exploration technology, reported NASA International Collaboration Coordinator. Ancient wisdom applicable extraterrestrial applications. European Commission President visited Josip personally during ceremonial announcement major traditional knowledge preservation initiative worth 200 million euros. Individual farmers' wisdom inspiring continental policy transformation, declared Commission President. Traditional techniques essential European climate adaptation strategy. Regional economic transformation reached unprecedented levels. Kaktu traditional protection industry generated over 300 million euros annual economic activity, supporting tens thousands sustainable employment opportunities. Cultural heritage preservation creating extraordinary economic development model replicable globally. Documented European Regional Development Authority. Major multinational corporations invested combined resources exceeding €500 million developing commercial applications, traditional protective construction worldwide. Corporate recognition, traditional knowledge, fundamental transformation, sustainable construction industry, noted International Business Research Consortium. Harvard University established permanent Josip Novak Institute Traditional Innovation, dedicated researching applications indigenous wisdom, contemporary challenges. Academic recognition traditional knowledge, worthy highest scholarly investigation, explained Harvard President Durante Institute opening ceremony. World Bank approved major funding programma supporting traditional protective construction projects, developing countries worldwide, totaling €150 million. Traditional techniques offering cost-effective solutions communities lacking modern emergency infrastructure, explained World Bank Sustainable Development Coordinator. United Nations Climate Conference featured Special Assembly dedicated traditional knowledge, climate adaptation, Siosip katu primary presenter addressing world leaders. Traditional wisdom essential achieving global climate resilience whilst preserving cultural heritage, announced UN Climate Conference President. International Arctic Research Council adopted traditional protective construction mandatory protocols, all polar research installations globally. Universal recognition, traditional techniques, essential survival capability, extreme environments. Declared Arctic Council International Coordination Authority. Climate adaptation policies worldwide incorporated traditional protective construction, essential strategies addressing increasingly severe weather patterns. Traditional methods providing practical resilience tools, communities facing climate change impacts, explained International Climate Policy Research Coordinator. Professional certification programs achieved global standardization, enabling traditional protective construction instructors practice internationally recognized qualifications. Certified practitioners maintaining traditional technique quality whilst facilitating worldwide knowledge transfer, reported International Certification Coordination Authority. Scientific research intensified. Keiko extensive studies confirmed traditional protective structures outperform modern alternatives, multiple performance categories under extreme conditions. Comprehensive analysis demonstrates traditional techniques, superior wind resistance, cost-effectiveness, durability, concluded International Research Validation Authority. International cooperation expanded dramatically, how bilateral agreements facilitated traditional knowledge exchange programs MIJ countries worldwide. Government partnerships enabling cross-cultural learning technique preservation, announced Diplomatic Cooperation International Coordination Office. Insurance industry achieved complete transformation, CAC to traditional protective construction became preferred practice, reducing extreme weather risk assessments. Actuarial data consistently confirms traditional techniques significantly safer, more reliable modern alternatives, reported Global Insurance Industry Research Institute. Educational institutions worldwide mandatorily integrated traditional knowledge components, disaster preparedness, engineering curricula. Academic recognition traditional techniques, essential contemporary emergency education, noted International Education Standards Coordination Authority. International media coverage reached saturation levels. CAC traditional knowledge stories dominated environmental sustainability publications worldwide. Global audience fascination, authentic protective methods, unprecedented attention, traditional techniques. Observed International Media Trend Analysis Authority. Cultural heritage organizations achieved historic milestone. CACO traditional protective construction techniques globally recognized, UNESCO. Intangible cultural heritage requiring preservation promotion. International acknowledgement traditional construction knowledge invaluable human wisdom, announced UNESCO Traditional Knowledge Coordination Director. Environmental impact validation confirmed traditional protective construction demonstrates optimal sustainability characteristics compared modern alternatives. Life cycle analysis proves traditional techniques, superior environmental performance. Concluded International Environmental Research Consortium. Regional tourism industry reached historic growth levels. Katu traditional protective construction experiences attracted over 10,000 annual participants with more than 100 countries. Educational tourism focused traditional knowledge creating sustainable economic opportunities, documented International Tourism Development Research Authority. Construction technology innovation accelerated. Kako companies developed specialized equipment supporting traditional techniques, whilst maintaining authentic cultural practices. Technology enhancing traditional construction efficiency, bez compromising indigenous integrity, noted International Technology Development Coordination Authority. International research funding supporting traditional knowledge preservation exceeded 50 million euros annually. Investment traditional wisdom demonstrating superior returns, sustainable development objectives worldwide, reported International Funding Coordination Research Authority. Climate researchers confirmed traditional protective construction optimal adaptation strategy addressing intensifying extreme weather globally. Traditional Design Principles Essential Climate Resilience Planning Worldwide, concluded International Climate Adaptation Research Consortium. Military Applications, expanded CAO defense organizations, globally integrated traditional protective training, special forces, survival operations. Traditional techniques, providing operational capabilities. Conventional methods cannot match, reported International Military Training Coordination Authority. International standards organizations achieved comprehensive consensus, global guidelines, traditional protective construction ensuring quality whilst maintaining cultural authenticity. Professional standards enabling worldwide traditional knowledge application, explained International Standards Development Coordination Authority. Academic research proliferated. Kaku universities worldwide studied cultural, technical, environmental aspects, traditional protective construction. Scholarly publications, traditional techniques research increased exponentially, noted International Academic Research Monitoring Authority. Professional networks achieved global reach. Kaku-certified traditional protective construction practitioners exceeded 30,000 worldwide. International collaboration, enabling knowledge-sharing technique advancement worldwide, observed International Professional Association Coordination Authority. 5. Godina evolution at local farming innovation to global disaster resilience transformation demonstrates extraordinary potential. Traditional knowledge, when properly recognized, supported international cooperation. Reflected Joseph during anniversary celebration attended delegations 50 countries. International development organizations documented remarkable success implementing traditional protective techniques, humanitarian emergency scenarios worldwide. Traditional methods providing rapid dignity shelter solutions using local materials, reported International Humanitarian Coordination Authority. Success demonstrated Kako individual commitment preserving traditional wisdom can create global transformation, providing superior solutions. Contemporary challenges whilst maintaining cultural authenticity, environmental sustainability, benefiting millions people. Worldwide travails promoting peaceful international cooperation. Paragraf 9. 5 godine nakon što je Josipova utvrda od bala sijena započela kao desperate winter preparation measure i evolved into global symbol traditional knowledge superiority, njezin international impact dostigao je historic pinnacle, когато je Nobel Peace Prize Committee officially announced Josip kao recipient prestigious award za outstanding contribution promoting international cooperation, peace through traditional knowledge-sharing initiatives. Nobel Peace Prize announcement ceremony attended representatives from over 100 countries worldwide, recognizing Josipov achievement jak extraordinary demonstration kako indigenous wisdom can transcend cultural boundaries, whilst providing practical solutions, global challenges. Committee statement praised his work, facilitating unprecedented international cooperation, traditional knowledge preservation. International media coverage reached saturation levels, като Nobel announcement dominated news outlets worldwide. Croatian farmer awarded world's most prestigious peace recognition traditional knowledge sharing, reported major international publications. Global audience fascination, traditional wisdom driving unprecedented attention indigenous techniques. Regional government transformation remarkable jak Croatian ministry culture established permanent traditional knowledge UNESCO Heritage Center, featuring Josipov techniques, като flagship demonstration. National recognition, traditional wisdom, worthy highest international preservation, announced Ministry Culture, International Coordination Director. Harvard Kennedy School published definitive policy analysis titled Traditional Knowledge Diplomacy, the Novak Peace Model, examining Kako indigenous wisdom can promote international cooperation whilst addressing contemporary challenges. Academic validation, traditional knowledge diplomatic applications, noted Harvard Policy Research Coordinator. World Economic Forum dedicated special session Traditional Wisdom Global Peace, Josip, като keynote speaker, addressing world's most powerful business political leaders. Economic recognition, traditional knowledge, essential peaceful sustainable development, declared World Economic Forum president. European Union Commission established permanent Traditional Innovation Peace Initiative. Headquarters Croatia, supporting traditional knowledge preservation projects, worldwide budget exceeding €500 million. EU commitment, traditional wisdom promotion, international cooperation. Announced Commission President. United Nations General Assembly adopted unanimous resolution designating traditional protective construction techniques, CAO, essential tool, global peace building through cultural understanding. Resolution recognized traditional knowledge yak bridge connecting diverse cultures, peaceful cooperation. More international development achieved unprecedented success, yak traditional protective construction projects implemented over 80 countries worldwide. Traditional techniques providing cost-effective disaster resilience solutions whilst promoting cultural understanding. Reported UN Development Program International Coordinator. Regional economic impact reached extraordinary levels. CAO traditional knowledge tourism generated over €1 billion annual revenue supporting hundreds, thousands sustainable employment opportunities. Cultural heritage preservation creating remarkable economic transformation. Documented International Economic Development Authority. Scientific research validation reached definitive confirmation. CAO comprehensive studies proved traditional protective structures superior modern alternatives, extreme weather conditions. Traditional techniques demonstrate superior performance, expensive contemporary solutions, concluded International Scientific Research Consortium. Climate adaptation research achieved breakthrough recognition, yet traditional protective construction became primary strategy addressing climate change impacts globally. Traditional knowledge essential achieving climate resilience goals, announced International Climate Adaptation Authority. Major international corporations achieved remarkable success integrating traditional techniques, commercial applications worldwide. Corporate adoption traditional knowledge creating new industry sectors worth billions euros. Reported International Business Development Research Authority. Professional certification achieved global standardization, enabling traditional protective construction expertise practice internationally. Certified traditional builders practicing 100 countries worldwide. Documented International Professional Coordination Authority. Educational transformation accelerated CAO universities worldwide, required traditional knowledge components, all engineering environmental programs. Academic curriculum revolution, recognizing indigenous wisdom, essential contemporary education, noted International Education Research Coordination Authority. International cooperation intensified CAO cultural exchange programs, facilitated traditional knowledge sharing, meju indigenous communities worldwide. Cross-cultural collaboration enhancing traditional wisdom preservation globally, observed International Cultural Exchange Coordination Authority. Insurance industry achieved complete transformation. CAO traditional protective construction became standard practice superior risk management. Traditional techniques consistently demonstrate safer performance, modern alternatives. Reported Global Insurance Research Coordination Authority. Environmental organizations achieved unanimous recognition traditional protective construction, optimal sustainability solution. Traditional methods perfectly balance human needs environmental responsibility. Noted International Environmental Advocacy Coordination Authority. International research funding supporting traditional knowledge preservation exceeded €100 million annually. Investment, traditional wisdom, superior returns, sustainable development objectives. Reported International Funding Research Coordination Authority. Cultural heritage preservation reached historic milestone. CAO traditional protective construction techniques globally protected UNESCO status requiring international preservation promotion. Global recognition traditional knowledge invaluable human heritage, announced UNESCO Coordination Director. Military applications worldwide integrated traditional protective training, special operations capabilities. Traditional techniques providing strategic advantages, conventional methods cannot achieve. Reported International Military Coordination Authority. Construction technology innovation accelerated yet specialized equipment supporting traditional techniques developed worldwide. Technology enhancing traditional construction bez compromising cultural authenticity, noted International Technology Coordination Authority. International media attention sustained highest levels. Kako traditional knowledge stories inspired global audiences. Traditional wisdom renaissance driving international fascination. Authentic techniques observed International Media Research Authority. Tourism industry transformation remarkable CAC traditional knowledge experiences attracted millions participants worldwide annually. Educational tourism traditional wisdom creating unprecedented economic cultural opportunities documented International Tourism Coordination Authority. Climate research confirmed traditional protective construction optimal global adaptation strategy. Traditional techniques essential worldwide climate resilience planning. Concluded International Climate Research Coordination Authority. International standards achieved comprehensive guidelines ensuring traditional knowledge quality worldwide application. Professional standards enabling global implementation whilst maintaining cultural integrity. Explained International Standards Coordination Authority. Regional development agencies worldwide reported successful economic transformation programs based traditional knowledge tourism. Cultural preservation, creating sustainable prosperity models, noted International Development Coordination Authority. Academic research proliferated as institutions globally studied traditional protective construction applications, diverse environments. Scholarly investigation, traditional techniques, exponential growth, reported International Research Coordination Authority. 6 Godina transformation, a desperate farming solution to Nobel Peace Prize recognition, demonstrates extraordinary power, traditional knowledge promoting international understanding cooperation. Reflected Josip during Nobel acceptance ceremony attended world leaders. International humanitarian organizations documented remarkable success, traditional protective techniques, emergency response scenarios worldwide. Traditional wisdom providing practical solutions whilst promoting cultural respect, reported International Humanitarian Coordination Authority. Success story proved traditional knowledge transcends boundaries, creating global transformation whilst preserving cultural heritage, promoting peaceful cooperation among nations through shared appreciation, indigenous wisdom, providing superior solutions, contemporary challenges. Nobel Peace Prize recognition validated traditional knowledge worthy highest international respect, inspiring worldwide Renaissance indigenous wisdom i sustainable practices contributing global peace development. Paragraf 10. 10. godinom, nakon što je Josipova utvrda od bala sijena započela kao jednostavna farmerska inovacija i razvila se u najuticajniju traditional knowledge success story u modernoj istoriji, njezin legacy dostigao je transformational pinnacle kada je Ujedinjeni narodi oficijalno usvojili Novak Global Traditional Knowledge Framework, kao universal model za sustainable development through indigenous wisdom integration. United Nations Secretary General delivered historic address, General Assembly declaring Josipove achievement. Defining moment, human history, demonstrating show, traditional wisdom holds keys, solving contemporary global challenges whilst promoting international peace cooperation. Declaration marked official recognition traditional knowledge как essential tool global governance. International Monument Traditional Knowledge erected UN Headquarters, New York, featuring Josipov Hay Fortress Principles kao, symbolic representation, indigenous wisdom, contribution world peace, sustainable development. Permanent recognition, Croatian farmers' extraordinary contribution humanity. Announced UN Monument Dedication Ceremony. In Nobel Peace Prize legacy continued expanding, kako Josip established Global Traditional Knowledge Peace Foundation, its headquarters Geneva, supporting traditional wisdom preservation projects worldwide. Foundation mission ensuring traditional knowledge serves tool promoting international understanding cooperation, declared Foundation President. Regional economic transformation reached unprecedented levels, като traditional knowledge industry generated over 5 billion euros annual global economic activity. Cultural heritage preservation, creating extraordinary sustainable development model, documented Global Economic Development Authority. Harvard University achieved academic milestone establishing Novak Global Campus Traditional Innovation, featuring satellite programs 30 countries worldwide. International Education Network, dedicated traditional knowledge research application, announced Harvard President Tiacom campus opening ceremony. European Union achieved historic policy milestone adopting Traditional Knowledge Integration Directive requiring all member states incorporate indigenous wisdom disaster preparedness planning. Legislative recognition traditional techniques essential community resilience declared European Parliament President. World Bank established permanent Traditional Knowledge Development Fund, initial funding €10 billion, supporting traditional wisdom projects developing countries worldwide. Investment Traditional Knowledge Superior Development Outcomes, announced World Bank President. International space collaboration achieved breakthrough, adapting traditional protective principles, Mars habitat construction. Traditional knowledge directly informing human space exploration, reported International Space Station Research Coordinator. Ancient wisdom applicable extraterrestrial applications. Climate adaptation achieved global consensus traditional protective construction, optimal strategy, addressing climate change impacts worldwide. Traditional techniques essential achieving international climate resilience goals, announced Global Climate Adaptation Authority. Cultural heritage preservation reached ultimate recognition. Kako traditional protective construction techniques, designated UNESCO World Heritage, requiring mandatory international protection. Global acknowledgement traditional knowledge invaluable human heritage, declared UNESCO Director General. Scientific research validation achieved definitive confirmation. Traditional protective structures, superior modern alternatives, comprehensive performance analysis. Traditional techniques demonstrate superior effectiveness, sustainability, cost efficiency, concluded International Scientific Research Consortium. Educational transformation completed worldwide integration, traditional knowledge, mandatory components, all university engineering environmental programs. Global academic recognition, traditional wisdom essential contemporary higher education, noted International Education Standards Authority. International cooperation achieved historic levels. Kako bilateral multilateral agreements facilitated traditional knowledge, sharing 150 countries worldwide. Government partnerships promoting peaceful cultural exchange, traditional wisdom, the announced International Cooperation Authority. Professional certification achieved universal recognition, enabling traditional protective construction practitioners work globally standardized qualifications. International professional standards maintaining quality, whilst enabling worldwide knowledge transfer, reported Global Professional Certification Authority. Insurance industry completed transformation traditional protective construction, preferred standard practice worldwide. Traditional techniques consistently demonstrate superior safety reliability, documented Global Insurance Industry Authority. Construction technology achieved optimal integration traditional techniques, modern efficiency, whilst maintaining cultural authenticity. Innovation enhancing traditional construction worldwide bez compromising indigenous integrity, noted International Technology Coordination Authority. Environmental validation reached unanimous confirmation traditional protective construction optimal sustainability solution globally. Traditional methods, perfect harmony. Human needs environmental protection, concluded Global Environmental Authority.